So, okay. I apologize. I was at an event earlier this morning, and I've lost my coat somewhere. So, and I'm going to be. It's a little mess because it kind of goes with my outfit. Well, good morning, everyone. Allan Odette. I'm the president and CEO of the Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and let me first say, I think Bob just may have walked out the back door. You guys are lucky to have Bob Malcolmson working on your behalf out in this area. For those of you who know Bob, he has, how would you describe? I love the man. I love the man. So listen, I'm not going to take too much time today. I have a number of remarks around industry and transportation, and but what I want to do is just kind of share with you what the focus is that the Ontario Chamber of Commerce is bringing, why it's important to what you're doing here today. Typically, I offer three kind of really important points that I hope people to take away. One is, if you're waiting for government to reinvent your community, it ain't going to happen. They just don't have the capacity to do it. Leadership comes from each of you. Whatever it is you do in your community, even if you are involved in government, you're going to have to step up and work collectively. In the 21st century, being successful in communities and regions is going to mean you're going to have to work together, and you're going to have to figure out how to do that. Because in the scope of scale things, we're all a relative rounding error. When you hear the comments of the last panelist, stuff does not happen by accident, and the world is moving so quickly right now that it will not happen by accident. You've heard the expression, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Well, do you know what? That could not be any more true now. I spoke with Bob yesterday for a few moments just to see what he wanted me to comment about today, and if I could underscore that notion of collective ambition, that you need to take this up as your collective ambition to be successful in Durham region now and going forward. You've had a tremendous amount of success, and I'm mindful to say this in spite of yourself, but we all owe a debt of gratitude to Simon Reisman. He negotiated that auto pact, and because of that auto pact, that has had a huge impact on Ontario. You know what? The world has changed. The energy sector has changed. We need to think a little bit more differently about that. Bob, did they send some slides? Oh yeah, I've got some slides up. 5 quick slides. Here's what we're focused on as an Ontario Chamber of Commerce. So you guys ought to know you're part of a network of about 60,000 members that employ roughly 2.5 million people around the province. One of the presidents of our 160 is Bob, and you really should know that Bob is recognized as a significant leader, not only in your own community, but around the province in my network, and for the work. Yeah, thanks. So the 5 key areas in which we're focused, and this plan was built 3 years ago. I came to this role. I've spent the past 30 years in the biotech, biopharmaceutical sector. In fact, the last speaker, I don't know if he's left, but I worked at Research Triangle Park in North Carolina, and wow, what a place. In fact, we tried to model RTP or Mars after RTP, and notwithstanding all the criticism you hear of Mars and some of this cluster work, which was largely the brainchild of Michael Porter, this place RTP is amazing. Did that speaker leave yet? Yeah, okay. The 5 key areas in which we're focused to help Ontario emerging stronger. I had the entire deputy level of government help me write this. 6 university presidents, include your own Tim McTiernan, half a dozen college presidents, some NGOs, and both leaders of the opposition, their caucuses, and I would say 2/3 of Ontario's cabinet. So there's relative consensus around this. It's not the brainchild of Allan Odette. I'm not that bright, but what we are able to do is bring people together, convene, align around some core objectives, and drive that. And what I'm about to show you is actually the party platform of Kathleen Wynne and Tim Hudak. Number 1 is really about embracing a culture of innovation and smart risk-taking. We do not take risk. We need to learn how to take risk. And in taking risks, sometimes you're going to fail. What we don't do very well here is celebrating failure. I could take you to RTP. I have a number of former colleagues and some very dear friends who are wildly wealthy beyond your imagination. They've made lots of money in biotech and other areas. They won't talk about the 500 or 5,000 employees that they have right now and the money that they've made. What they want to share is the 2 firms or the 3 things that they failed at first that got them there. We're so busy tearing each other down that we've forgot to take time to support each other and learn from failure. Those of you who work inside large enterprise that have skills and training area will recognize that you need to stop every day and recognize what's working well and how you can be even more effective if. That's how you learn. That's how you grow your business. That's how you attract, retain key talent. So think about embracing innovation and taking some smart risks. Number 2 of 5 is about building a 21st century workforce through workplace training, leveraging newcomer skills, and apprenticeship reform. I won't go into apprenticeship reform other than to say we need to narrow the ratio. There are projects going on around this province that just aren't going to get done because we don't have the skilled talent to do it. There are roughly 120,000 skilled jobs going unfilled in Ontario today. The immigration piece, I understand the minister was here. We have to find ways of embracing people in our community, and I share this story. When you walk into a room a little bit like this, and somebody embraces you, how that makes you feel versus walking into a room and not being introduced. That's what it's like to be a newcomer here, and you're going to be successful if you do that and people are attracted and want to come to your community. Not any different than investment. I'm going to come and invest in your community. I'm going to put my money in your community if I believe you're coordinated, you're organized, you have the skilled labor and energy for me to run my business. Same thing is true. I'm going to bring my family here. You need to embrace that. Number 3 of 5, restore fiscal balance by improving the way in which government works. I've been in business for 30 years. Debt's your friend. You need to leverage the debt and equity you have in your business, but not to the point that you put your business at risk. What we're talking about here is, and for those of you who understand the provincial treasury, they run a current account deficit of roughly $12 billion. That's not a big deal in and of itself, but they have a nearly $300 billion cumulative debt. That's a problem. Servicing that debt is a very big problem, even at current interest rates. The greatest spend of the provincial government is health, number 1. It's nearly 50% of expenditure. Number 2 is education. Number 3 are the interest payments to service that debt. So we're here talking about investing in infrastructure, and that's going to be, by the way, billions and billions of dollars out over the next decade. Most of you will retire as that boom hits, and it's going to hit. Trust me, it is. But what we're talking about here is really alternative service delivery. What can we get government out of and in the hands of private sector and other service delivery providers to make it more effective and more efficient? Number 4 or 5, all about export. Less than 7% of our companies export, and of the 7% of our firms that export, almost all of it is going to the United States, roughly 75% of it. And of that, almost all of it is auto sector. Auto sector. We trade less than $1 billion with India. I was just in Kentucky with the governor. We trade $13 billion with the state of Kentucky on auto parts. This is a very important sector, but we're going to have to figure out how to diversify that a little bit. There are no new big companies coming to Ontario. We're going to have to figure out how we can grow small to medium-sized enterprise to be successful. And that's going to take the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years to train an entire generation that it's okay to take risk, it's okay to fail, because you can grow something big. The 5th and final area in which I'll close is in a world that is a big world, and Ontario is a relative rounding error, and I don't say that sort of lightly, but we're small. So we need to think collectively and collaboratively what we can do to be successful. So I'll leave you with those remarks. I've probably gone over my time. If I could leave you with a final thought, it is that you're going to have to figure out how to work together, though, because together you're a heck of a lot stronger than you are working apart, and that there is no question. So, Bob, thanks for having me this morning, and happy to take some questions afterwards.